Thanks, Fred Evener. Station WOWT-TV, Channel 6 Omaha, is owned and operated by the Meredith Publishing Company of Des Moines, Iowa, publishers of Better Homes and Gardens and successful farming magazines. WOWT-TV enjoys many advantages that give us an edge over our competitors. First of all, WOWT-TV has the good fortune to be affiliated with the nation's #1 television network, both from the standpoint of audience and billings, CBS-TV. Moving from network to film programming, WOWT-TV for some time has had a vast library of the finest feature films available to television. WOWT-TV was the first station to bring really top-flight movies to Omaha back in 1955. WOWT-TV's outstanding film programming carries over into the syndicated field as well, where we own such properties as U.S. Marshal, Amos and Andy, The Californians, Three Stooges, CBS Terry Tunes, and of course many, many others. WOWT-TV's up-to-the-minute facilities ensure advertisers and viewers the very best possible television service. In that regard, WOWT-TV is the first and only Nebraska commercial television station with Ampex videotape. And speaking of large investments such as videotape, the big talk around the station these days is our new building addition. And here to tell you a little about this wonderful new project is Del Donahue, one of our most versatile on-the-air salesmen and personalities. Come in, Del, and give us the word about this new building addition of ours.
Thank you, Bill. Our new building, now in the final stages of being furnished and decorated, will give us additional TV studio space and complete new facilities for Radio WOW and the soon-to-be-born WOW-FM. Now, this is how our building will look when it's completed and landscaped in the next few weeks. Whoops, that's the wrong building. There, that's better. We think it's going to be great.
Thanks, Del. Yes, WOW-TV is a leader with many advantages. Nowhere is this more true than in the field of news, sports, weather, and farm programming. All important programs. WOW-TV does not spare the horses in securing for our viewers and advertisers top television programs. We have some 22 people reporting, gathering, editing, and announcing our news, sports, farm, and weather shows. And that's a chief reason why WOW-TV news programs are tops in survey after survey. And speaking of news, I'd like now for you to meet the Dean of Midwest Newscasters, Ray Clark. Ray has been reporting the news to WOW Land listeners and viewers since 1940. Ray?
Good evening, everyone. Ray Clark speaking with the Standard TV News Roundup. And in the news tonight, a hot and fiery session is on the City Council chambers as the proponents and opponents argue whether or not the rezoning should be allowed for 102nd and Dodge for the West Road Shopping Center. It has been denied by the Planning Commission, but the City Council still will have the final say. Since 1950, I've been working alongside a wonderful guy and a top weathercaster to boot. Chuck is a TV rarity in that he's a professional meteorologist. Since Chuck Thomas really knows the weather picture, his shows are tops in this area where accurate weather information is particularly vital.
Well, thank you, Ray Clark. And now let's look at tonight's weather. We find that today in this region on our national weather map, we had a cold front that went through the area, and it caused us to have a tornado warning during the early afternoon, which was called off later in the day. Then we had fair skies, and tomorrow we're expecting that cold front to have brought fair skies in this region and temperatures dropping to about 85. You know, they say the versatile athlete is a valuable fellow to have around, a fellow who can do lots of things and do them well. Well, this description really fits Jack Payne. Jack came to WOW-TV as sports director, and then he branched out into newscasting and also into commercial work where he's proved that he can really sell. So meet Jack Payne.
Thank you very much, Chuck Thomas. In the sports news tonight, two new professional sports are very much in the highlights. Down in Dallas, Texas, they held a quarterback session for the new entry there in the American Football League. Meanwhile, back in the nation's capital, the Continental League for 1960 was struck out. The bill, the Kefauver Sports Bill, went back to committee. Meanwhile, in the American League, the New York Yankees strengthened their hold atop that loop as they defeated Kansas City 5-2 with Bob Turley the winner, and Cleveland on Johnny Temple's homer defeats Baltimore 3-2 in 11 innings. Now then, I'd like to have you meet Gene Pyatt. Gene handles that very important 10 o'clock newscast for us here on WOW-TV on Saturday night. Gene?
The weather outlook for over the weekend begins with slightly cooler temperatures tomorrow, a gradual warming tomorrow night, and again on Monday. The Weather Bureau in Chicago tonight issued tornado forecasts for many of the regions right around the Great Lakes area. 7 members of a Beloit, Wisconsin family have died in one of the 4th of July weekend's worst traffic accidents. The car was hit by a runaway house trailer. Latest United Press International count shows 138 have died on the highways, 31 in miscellaneous accidents for a grand total of 169. So far in Nebraska tonight, no traffic fatalities. Iowa has recorded 4 in the past 18 hours. Earlier, Bill McBride mentioned WWTV's farm department. WWTV is the only TV station in Omaha with a farm department, one of the few stations in the country to have such a department. WWTV has 2 farm specialists, Arnold Peterson, director, and his associate, Frank Arney.
Hi, I'm Arnold Peterson, and